Welcome to Lento English. Ready to level up your English? Here we learn through stories, slow, clear, and fun. Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey.
One introduction. The sound is loud. It is the sound of a big steel gate closing. This sound makes two worlds separate. One world is outside. It is Singapore City. This city is big and busy. It has bright lights and many people. Life is fast and full of choices there. You can go where you want, do what you want. You can smell the air, see the trees, hear the sounds of the city streets. There is freedom there. The other world is inside. It is Changi prison. Life here is very different. People outside hear many stories about prison. They hear it is hard. They hear it is brutal. They think it is a place only for punishment and loud problems. They think life inside is full of anger and noise all the time. There are many myths people believe about what happens inside the walls. But are these stories the true life? Is prison really like the myths people hear? Or is the reality something else, something less known and more complex? This story is about life inside this prison. It begins with the sound of that gate closing. Inside, there is often a quiet feeling. It is a disciplined place where every hour is planned. Life follows strict rules every day. Every day is the same as the day before. The rooms are small and simple. There is not much color or noise inside. It is a stark place, empty of many things from the outside. This is the real life beyond the gate. It is a quiet reality, a simple reality, but still very hard. It is a disciplined world with clear rules. It is a world that most people outside do not truly know or understand. It is a different kind of hard than the stories tell. It is the feeling of living inside these quiet, strict walls. It is the sound of silence after the gate closes, day after day. 2. The first day. The first day in prison is a moment you will not forget. After you arrive, you are taken to a room. This room is for you only. It is called a one-man cell. When the door behind you closes, you are suddenly completely alone. There is no other person in the room with you. This feeling of being totally alone is very deep. It is a strong loneliness that you feel inside. You cannot speak to anyone. You cannot tell anyone how you feel or what you are thinking. You are stuck there just with yourself. The room where you stay is very small. It is a simple, bare space. The walls are plain and empty. There are no pictures or decorations. If you walk from one end to the other, the length of the room is about 7 feet. If you walk across the room, the width is about 5 feet. It is like living in a very small box, just 7 feet long and 5 feet wide. There is an area where you sleep on the floor. There is also a small part with a toilet, but the whole space is very limited. Living in such a small room for a long time is difficult for your mind. The size of the cell feels psychologically small. When you are kept in this small area, even for only 2 days on a weekend, it has a very big impact on your thoughts and feelings. Knowing that this small perimeter is your entire world disturbs your mind and your body. The walls are always close around you. You feel the smallness of the space every hour of every day. There are no distractions. You are just there in the quiet, small room. This constant feeling of being in a small, bare box is hard. It shows you that you are not free. You are confined to this small area, 7 feet by 5 feet. The first day shows you this new, stark reality. It is a life lived alone in a bare room. It is a test for your mind and your feelings, adapting to the deep loneliness and the very small space. This is how life begins inside the prison walls. You must learn to be alone and to live within these few feet day after day. It is a quiet, difficult start to a new life. 3. The daily plan. Every day starts very early. The men wake up when it is still dark, sometimes around 4 or 5 o'clock. There is nothing to do in the dark cell. Sometimes they try to sleep again for a little while. Then the light comes on. After the light, they go to the small wash area. They wash their face and body and brush their teeth. Some men read something like a book after they wash. Then they might walk around their small cell from one side to the other many times. From 7 o'clock to 7:15, it is time for mindfulness. Quiet music plays. This is a time to be calm and think quietly. After this quiet time, the officers call for the morning master check. This is a very important time. The men must stand up next to their cell door. They must put their shirt inside their trousers. They must greet the officer who comes to the door. The master check is when officers count every person. They must check that everyone is there and that they are okay. The officer asks a question and the man must answer. This shows the officer that he is present and well. This check takes about 30 minutes for the area. After the master check, the small opening in the door called the full latch opens. This is the first time they can see outside the cell since the night before. It feels important to see the outside world, even just a little. Before breakfast, officers give out razors for shaving. Each man has about 10 minutes to shave inside his cell. Then the officers collect the razors again. Around 7:45, breakfast comes. Breakfast is usually 4 pieces of bread. Officers pass the bread through the small door opening. The men take their metal cups. An officer gives them hot tea or coffee in their cups. They eat the bread and drink the hot drink. When they finish eating, they might walk around the cell again. Every day follows the same plan. Life inside is built on this simple schedule. It repeats every day. 4. Food for everyone. After the morning check and breakfast, the day continues. Let's think about the food. Where does food for so many people come from? There is a very large kitchen in the prison. This kitchen is central and makes food for everyone inside. This means food for thousands of people every day. It prepares about 7,000 to 8,000 meals each day. These meals are for the people in prison, the officers, and also for volunteers. Making food on this scale is like working in a factory. It is industrial production. The people who make the food are inmates. They work alongside prison staff and chefs. The chefs help to teach the inmates how to prepare the meals correctly. Inmates use tools in the kitchen, but these tools are controlled for safety. For example, some tools are chained. The kitchen prepares different types of meals because people have different needs. There are 6 to 8 different diets available. Some diets are for health reasons, like for people who cannot eat spicy food or people who have diabetes and need low-sugar food. There are also diets for religious reasons, like diets without meat. The kitchen tries to make sure everyone gets food with enough protein and vegetables. Every day, the food is different. On some days, there is baked chicken. On other days, there might be fish. After the food is cooked, it is packed into containers. These containers go into special trolleys. The trolleys keep the food warm so that it is not cold when it gets to the cells. But what do the inmates think about the food? Many people inside have opinions about the meals. Some inmates say the food is often cold when it reaches them. Sometimes food like noodles can become hard. Many feel that the amount of food is not enough. They often feel hungry after eating. They remember food from outside prison, like from restaurants, and they miss it a lot. The food inside is very different from what they ate before. Over time, some people get used to the food, but they still remember the taste of food from the outside world. 5. Rules and items. In prison, life is simple. Inmates have only a few basic items. These are the things they are allowed to keep in their cell. Each person gets a clear pail, a soap box, and a mug with a cover. These items are made of plastic. They are clear so that officers can easily see what is inside them. This helps to keep everyone safe. They also get a plastic spoon for eating their meals. For cleaning their teeth, they have a toothbrush and toothpaste. The toothpaste is clear like the other items. The toothbrush is made to be very short. This is also for safety reasons. It makes it harder to use the toothbrush as a weapon. Every inmate gets 2 blankets. These are big enough to cover the body. They also have a mat made of straw. They can use the mat or fold a blanket to make a softer place to sleep on the floor. These are the only items given by the prison. However, inmates can get more things. They can earn a small amount of money, called an allowance. They earn this by behaving well or by working in the prison. With this allowance, they can buy some items from the prison shop. What can they buy? They can buy things like better soap than the basic one given. They can also buy small food items like biscuits. Buying these things is a reward for good behavior and hard work. The items bought with allowance are very important to inmates. They are personal possessions. In a place where you have very little, these small items mean a lot. They can be a comfort. They can also be a way to feel a little bit of control over their own life. Having a special biscuit or a better soap can be a small moment of happiness in a difficult day. These items are more than just things. They represent small freedoms and personal rewards. 6. A search in the cell. Today, officers come to a cell. It is time for a cell search. Searching cells is a normal thing in prison life. It happens often. The main reason for these searches is safety. Officers need to find things that inmates are not allowed to have. These are called forbidden items. When officers come, the inmate must leave the cell. They stand outside while officers go inside. When it is an inmate's turn for a cell search, they often feel sick or worried. It feels like their only small private space is being checked by others. They must stand outside and wait. Inside, officers look very carefully. The cell is only 7 feet long and 5 feet wide, but inmates can find many places to hide things. Officers check the walls, the floor, the sleeping area, and the toilet. They look in every small space. Inmates might hide things in small cracks or behind pipes. They even check the toilet bowl sometimes. Officers might flush the toilet to see if anything is hidden there, like pills or small tools. Officers also look for anything sharpened. Sometimes, inmates sharpen small metal pieces, like parts of staples. These can be used to make tattoos or for other dangerous things. Inmates might use charcoal from medication as ink for tattoos. These tools are forbidden. Inmates have very few things, but they are smart and can make new things. They use the simple items they have. For example, they get plastic straws from drinks. They can make these straws into small hooks. These hooks help them hang small items. Rice from their food can be used too. They can make glue from cooked rice. This glue can make paper hard like cardboard. Inmates also try to get string. A long piece of string can be used in different ways. Sometimes they might make a rope from string or other materials. Officers look for these things. They look for the hooks made from straws or hard paper or long strings. They also look for other forbidden items. Inmates are only allowed to have a few basic things given by the prison. Having extra items, even simple ones like an extra piece of soap or more paper, is against the rules. Drawings or artwork made by inmates are also not allowed. They are not standard items. Also, inmates might use them to pass secret messages. When officers find something forbidden, they take it. This is called confiscation. For small things like an extra hook made from a straw or some extra paper, the officer usually gives a warning. They tell the inmate that this is wrong. The prison records these warnings. If an inmate gets many warnings, or if they hide the same thing again, the punishment will be more serious. Finding more dangerous items is a bigger problem. Items like a long rope or anything sharp are very dangerous. A rope could be used for self-harm. Sharp things could be used as weapons to hurt others or officers. This is why cell searches are very important every day. They help stop problems and keep everyone safe. The searches also help keep the rules fair for all inmates. Everyone must follow the same rules about what they can have. After the officers finish looking, the inmate can go back inside the cell. The cell is often not neat after the search. Officers have moved things to look everywhere. The inmate must put their few allowed items back in the right places. There is a picture on the wall that shows the correct place for everything. The search is over for now. It is a regular part of the prison day needed to keep order and safety. 7. Breaking the rules. Life in prison has many rules. If you break a rule, there are results. Officers find things that are not allowed, like extra hooks or strings. When they find them during a cell search, it is a problem. There is a system for mistakes. It is called the informal resolution system. If an inmate does something wrong, the officer talks to him. The mistake is written down. The inmate must say yes, he did the wrong thing. He promises not to do it again for 6 months. If he breaks a rule again in that time, the next punishment is worse. It becomes a more serious charge. There are small mistakes and big mistakes. Small mistakes are like arguing with another inmate or not doing what an officer says. Keeping things that are not allowed is also a small mistake. For small mistakes, an inmate can get a written warning. He might have to stay in his cell alone for some days, up to 7 days. Sometimes his release date can be moved later by a few days. Bigger mistakes have bigger punishments. Fighting with other inmates is a big mistake. Hiding medicine is also a big mistake. Tattoos are a very big problem in prison. If an inmate gets a tattoo, it is a major charge. For serious mistakes, one punishment can be caning. This is when officers hit the inmate with a stick. It hurts a lot. It makes marks on the skin, but usually does not make deep cuts. Some inmates cry after caning, some do not. It is a very hard punishment. Tattoos are not allowed for many reasons. Inmates make them in secret. They use simple things from the prison like burned paper or charcoal from medicine mixed with water for ink. They might use a sharp point from a stapler. This is dangerous and can cause bad infections. Also, tattoos often show gang signs. Many inmates were part of gangs outside. These gang symbols can cause problems and fighting inside the prison. So finding a tattoo is a big rule break and has serious results. 8. A little bit of hope. Life inside can be very hard, but sometimes there are small moments that feel like freedom. These moments give people a little bit of hope for the future. One important time is the yard time. Inmates can go outside for exercise. They have 2 hours of yard time 2 times a week. This is a total of 4 hours each week. In the yard, they can do things like running or simple exercises such as push-ups. It is a time to move their bodies and feel the air. It is different from being in a small cell. There are rules in the yard, too. Inmates cannot use the benches for exercise like lifting weights. They cannot use the walls or other parts of the yard as equipment. They must stay inside a red line on the ground. Officers watch them all the time. So inmates need to be smart about how they exercise. But even with rules, this time outside is very important. Some inmates find another way to express themselves: art. There is a place where they can draw or make things. They can use pencils to draw pictures. Drawing can help them think about things and feel better. Some draw pictures of their families. Family photos are very special inside prison. They are hard to get. An inmate gets points for good behavior. Each month they get 20 points if they follow the rules. A family photo costs 60 points. This means an inmate must be good for 3 months to get just one picture. Getting a photo is a big thing. It is very precious. Seeing a photo of a wife or children helps inmates feel connected to the world outside. It reminds them of who is waiting. These photos give them strength. Another thing that gives hope is counting the days. Inmates count the days until they can leave prison. It is a long wait, but counting makes the end feel closer. Some inmates use small things they can buy with money they earn from working, like a biscuit, to celebrate each day they finish. They reward themselves for being good and getting closer to home. These small things, time outside, art, a family photo, counting the days, are like small lights in the dark. They help inmates keep hope alive. They help them think about becoming a good citizen when they are finally free.